I teach in the area of criminal law, criminal procedure, and also courses on feminism, race, and criminal law.
I teach criminal law, tort law, and an upper level seminar on stereotypes, prejudice, and the rule of law. And my concentration is on social justice and its intersection with the law.
I especially focus on the death penalty, mass incarceration, prisoners' rights, but also other issues, abortion, guns, and the evolution of American democracy.
I teach criminal law, criminal procedure, and international law. And I basically research at the intersection between international humanitarian law and moral and political philosophy, as well as a little bit of comparative constitutional law.
I direct the Post-Conviction Justice Project at Gould. I also teach a legislative policy practicum.
I teach a variety of courses, one of them being the first-year criminal law course. But I teach courses in law and psychology, and I also teach courses on mass incarceration.
My area is child witnesses, and my career goal has been to maximize children's ability to give complete and accurate reports when narrating their experiences. My
source of passion for criminal justice actually goes back to before I was born. My mother and her family were put in detention camps during World War II on the basis of being Japanese. From a young age, I always thought about racialized mass detention and how there are no mass detention success stories.
I was introduced to the wonders of the law as an 8-year-old when my family was visited with a Breonna Taylor-style raid of our home, and my indomitable 6'8" dad was prostrate as a result of that raid, allegedly for possession and sale of marijuana. He was given 22 to 55 years for that crime. And he started typing up his own writs of habeas corpus on his cell floor, representing himself pro se through the state and federal system till he prevailed in the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. I saw the power of the law through its language to open locked cages.
In law school, I didn't really like a lot of subjects, but criminal law and international law, and then I became a prosecutor back in Chile, and I used to prosecute crimes committed during the Pinochet dictatorship. That got me interested in the sort of underlying international system that protects people in context of armed conflict, which led me to international humanitarian law and the underlying philosophy, as well as adjacent issues which relate to criminal law as well and international criminal law.
I have to admit, I didn't really like law school very much, and I was thinking about quitting. I mixed in psychology classes with my law classes, and I started to really enjoy law because I could find another discipline from which one could criticize legal rules and procedures. Whatever it is where children interact most with the law, it turns out sadly to be cases of child abuse, because those are the cases where we really have to rely on child as witnesses. And that encouraged me to do that as a career. And ever since, I've been working on ways in which we can improve the process by which children are witnesses.
I think criminal justice can be understood as a microcosm of society, a window into the evolution of a given society, and the wider world. It's also a window into a host of fundamental questions into the human condition. After law school, I was a public defender in New York City for some time, and eventually I wanted to go towards academia to explore all these questions in depth.
After law school, I had a federal district court clerkship in DC and was really passionate about wanting to be a trial attorney. I spent 10 years in the Los Angeles U.S. Attorney's Office, and then I came to Gould. I do love the teaching, but I also fell in love with the cases and the work and fighting for people who really had not been treated fairly in post-conviction proceedings and especially in the California parole process.
So I've been working for quite some time both on experimental psychology and in legal applications around the topic of decision making. how do judges, jurors, prosecutors, detectives, and such actually reach the conclusions that they do. I've dwelt quite a bit about the potential for error in the process, and which is why we end up with a pretty remarkable level of mistakes, that is both false convictions but also false acquittals, or at least cases that don't get prosecuted because of these psychological impediments.
I hope that my law students, through their client relationships, through their advocacy, through their work, understand the humanity of the people we incarcerate, understand that people can change, that hope and incentives to be better and do better work, and that no life is not worthy of at least the opportunity to become a person who can be a contributing member of society.